Peace and Pan-Africanism, brothers and sisters. Peace and Pan-Africanism, brothers and sisters. Peace and Pan-Africanism, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade, coming to you today with a very brief message. I'm coming to you today with a brief message. First of all, for those of you who are serious about challenging the incumbent members of the Congressional Black Caucus in this coming Tuesday, November the 8th, 2022, national congressional elections, where all 435 seats of the House of Representatives will be open for election, please send me an email to btnibpm@yahoo.com. That is BT for Bishop Turner, BT N for National, I for Independent, B for Black, P for Political, M for Movement, btnibpm@yahoo.com if you're seriously interested about being a candidate, a U.S. congressional candidate running for a House of Representatives seat. I'm looking for revolutionary Africans, conscious Africans, serious Africans, committed Africans, unapologetically African people who want to change the narrative of the U.S. Congress as it relates to the Congressional Black Caucus. The Congressional Black Caucus has been around since 1971 and has not delivered any real tangibles to the Black community. The Congressional Black Caucus has been around since 1971 and has not delivered any real tangibles to the Black community. If you're interested, btnibpm@yahoo.com. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. When we talk about the Congressional Black Caucus, we have to talk about the modern Black bourgeoisie. When we talk about the 2022 Congressional Black Caucus, we have to talk about the 21st century's Negro aristocracy. I would argue that the Congressional Black Caucus may be second only to the Black clergy as the leading bourgeois gatekeeper organization of the Black community. The only Black aristocracy family that has a greater influence over Black people and a greater relationship with the white power structure. The only Black bourgeoisie family that supersedes the Black congressman and Black congresswoman are the Black churches. Black churches are number one. Black churches are number one. Black elected officials are number two. Now, here's what I want to say. I've been looking into the Congressional Black Caucus. I've been looking into the Congressional Black Caucus. And I have not been through all 57 congresspersons and 3 senators. But Senator Tim Scott is a Republican, and he is not a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. Senator Tim Scott, and he is not a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. But when we look at Cory Booker, and when we look at the 57 reps, I'm noticing a pattern, brothers and sisters. I'm noticing a pattern. I'm going to read you the name, age, and election date of the 20 most senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus. I want you to think with me for a minute. I want you to think with me for a minute. I'm about to read the name, age, and date which the 20 most senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus joined the U.S. Congress. I want to see if you can notice a pattern. This is not all 57 reps. This is not all 59 members. This is the senior 20 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. This is the top 1/3 of the talented 10th. This is the top 1/3 of the talented 10th. This is the top 1/3 of the talented 10th. Listen to this. Eleanor Holmes Norton, 84 years old. She was elected as a delegate from Washington, D.C., because D.C. is not a state, so they don't have a vote on the congressional floor, but the delegate from Washington, D.C. can vote in committee, and they can vote on procedure, but they cannot vote on the floor. So the delegate from D.C. is Queen Mother Eleanor Holmes Norton. She is 84 years old, and she has represented Black people from the District of Columbia since January the 3rd, 1991. That is 01, 11, 2021, and we are now in 2022. 31 years. No disrespect. No disrespect. That sister was a part of the civil rights movement. She stood up and supported the boycotts of South Africa during the apartheid years. She has been an advocate for Black people. As a youth, she was appointed by former President Jimmy Carter. I believe she was the first Black woman ever to chair the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Most of these Black congressmen and women were activists in their youth. Most of these Black congressmen and women were activists in their youth. But here's the question I want to ask. I'm being respectful because these are elders. I'm being respectful because these are elders. But to my Washington, D.C. family, to my Washington, D.C. family, to my Washington, D.C. family, we have to be honest. 31 years, 84 years old. Is it time for many of our Congressional Black Caucus members to pass the torch to a younger generation? I did not say throw her away. This woman has wisdom. This woman has history. I would love to sit at her feet and learn. So I don't believe in throwing our elders away. I'm not suggesting we throw her away. I'm asking, is 84 years old in 31 years as the delegate for D.C., is it time to pass the torch? I respect Queen Mother Eleanor Holmes Norton. I respect Queen Mother Eleanor Holmes Norton, but 84 years old, 31 years, is it time to pass the torch? She is the senior most U.S. rep in the Congressional Black Caucus. Number 2 on the hierarchy of the Congressional Black Caucus. Number 2 on the hierarchy of the Congressional Black Caucus is Queen Mother Maxine Waters. Queen Mother Maxine Waters, and I love me some Maxine Waters. She's one of the most vocal and one of the most unapologetic of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus. But I have to ask the same question. She is 83 years old. She don't look it. Queen Mela Eleanor Holmes Norton don't look it. Black don't crack. And I am happy to see that we have elders who are in such great shape. I'm happy to see we have elders who are taking care of their bodies and taking care of their lives. I love that. I hope I am in as good a shape as they are when I am in my 80s. But the question that we have to ask, brothers and sisters, Queen Mother Maxine Waters and Queen Mother Eleanor Holmes Norton came into the Congress on the same day, January the 3rd, 1991. Queen Mother Eleanor, 84 years old. Queen Mother Maxine, 83 years old. Brothers and sisters, and I want you to post how you feel. Post your comment on Instagram. I want to read what you think. Post your comment on Facebook. I want to read what you think. Do you feel it is okay for our congressional black leadership to be dominated by elders? I'm asking a question. Do you think it's okay for our congressional black leadership to be dominated by elders? Maybe you think it's okay. I want to know what you're thinking. Let's go to the third person. I've been doing my research for the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement. If you want to get down with us, if you want to run for office or you want to help those who are running, email btnibpm@yahoo. btnibpm@yahoo. Let's go to the third ranking member of the Congressional Black Caucus. And the third ranking member of the Congressional Black Caucus is Congressman Sanford Bishop. He is a Shriner and a 33rd degree Mason. I repeat, Congressman Sanford Bishop, he is a Shriner and a 33rd degree Mason. He is 75 years old. He is 75 years old. Now, let me back up for a minute. Queen Mother Maxine Waters represents the 43rd Congressional District of California. Her district covers Gardenia, Inglewood, Torrance, and Southern Los Angeles. So for my Africans who are listening today, if you live in California's 43rd Congressional District, Gardena, Inglewood, Torrance, Southern Los Angeles, we of the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement need to know your thoughts on Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who we respect and we love. Is she doing a good job? Do we need to target her for replacement, or do we leave her to be? Are we comfortable with 83 years old and 31 years? My Washington, D.C. Africans, Eleanor Holmes Norton is your delegate to the Congress. Are you comfortable with 84 years old and 31 years as the delegate for D.C.? Now, Congressman Sanford Bishop, 75 years old, a Shriner, a Mason, 33rd degree Mason. In respect to the Masons and the Shriners. But we have to be honest. I don't really see no evidence that the Black Masons or the Black Shriners are helping Black people. If I'm wrong, I'm open to correction. I don't see any evidence that the Black Shriners and the Black Masons are helping the Black community. If I'm wrong, I'm open to correction. So Congressman Sanford Bishop, he represents the 2nd Congressional District of Georgia. For my Georgia Africans, Albany, Georgia, I will be there April the 30th and May the 1st. Albany, Georgia, I will be there for the first time. April the 30th and May the 1st. Thomasville, Georgia, my Columbus, Georgia Africans, my Macon, Georgia Africans. Are you comfortable with Congressman Sanford Bishop? He's been there for 29 years. Let me see, 93, 03, 13, 23. He's been there 29 years. He's 75 years old. 29 years. He's 75 years old. What is your opinion on elders dominating the Congressional Black Caucus? Next person, fourth seniority. And we only going to do the first 20. We can't do all 60 today. James Clyburn, South Carolina's 6th Congressional District. James Clyburn, South Carolina's 6th Congressional District. He represents Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, and the majority black areas outside of Beaufort, South Carolina. James Clyburn is 81 years old, and he came into Congress 29 years ago with Sanford Bishop on January the 3rd of 1993. Brothers and sisters, let's go to number 5. Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson. Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson. She also came into Congress on January the 3rd, 1993. She represents the 30th Congressional District of Texas. Her district includes most of Dallas, Texas. Where my Dallas Africans at? Where my Dallas Africans at? Where my Dallas Africans at? Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson represents Dallas, Texas, Dallas Love Field Airport, parts of Dallas County, and the Texas Women's University in Dallas. So to my Dallas Africans, to my Dallas, Texas Africans, I need to know, what is your opinion of Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson? She's 86 years old. She's 86 years old. Again, we're not throwing our elders away. I don't believe in throwing our elders away. I'm simply asking, do some of them need to be replaced? Are they tired? Are they fatigued? Are they out of touch? Are they scared of the white power structure? Are they too comfortable? U.S. congresspersons earn $175,000 a year. U.S. congresspersons earn $175,000 a year. U.S. congresspersons earn $175,000 a year. And if we replace them, they will still retire with a government pension. They will not be broke. They will not be poor. They make $175,000. Most of them been there for 30 years. So they have millions in the bank. They're not broke, and they will get a pension. Is it time for some fresh new leadership? I'm asking a question. I want to hear from all my Africans. You could text me. You could text me or you can post it. I can see your comments. I will read some. Okay? Somebody said on Facebook, that's one reason we not moving socially as a people. Somebody else said on Instagram, we need to get all the old people out. Let's not be disrespectful, brothers and sisters. Let's not be disrespectful, because these are elders who did struggle when they were youth. These are elders who did struggle when they were youth. So we don't want to be disrespectful. We can learn from them. But I don't think an elder is necessarily the best person to fight for justice. I don't know if an elder is the best person to struggle for liberation, because elders are not trying to go to jail. They're not trying to be assassinated. They're not trying to be homeless. They're not trying to be unemployed. Are they using black elders to be the gatekeepers of the white power structure? The question I am asking, are they using our black elders to be the gatekeepers of the white power structure, brothers and sisters? Let's continue. Number 6, somebody who I respect. Number 6, somebody who I respect. Congressman Bobby Rush, co-founder of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party with the late, great Fred Hampton. My Chicago Africans, I need to hear from you. My Chicago Africans, I need to hear from you. My Chicago Africans, I need to hear from you. Congressman Bobby Rush is the author or the co-author of the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. Congressman Bobby Rush of Chicago is the co-author of the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. He's been in Congress since January the 3rd, 1993, and he is 75 years old. He did say he is not seeking re-election. Congressman Bobby Rush, in all due respect to you, revolutionary elder, he said he is not running for another term. So to my Chicago Africans, who are we going to get? To my Chicago Africans, who are we going to get to run to represent our Chicago brothers and sisters in the next election on Tuesday, November the 8th? Whoever is trying to run for Bobby Rush's seat needs to get down with Dr. Umar and the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement. Bobby Rush is the only black politician who can say they beat Barack Obama in an election. Barack Obama came for Bobby Rush's seat, and Bobby Rush beat Barack Obama back into his place. That's right. President Obama came for Bobby Rush's seat back in the year 2000, and Bobby Rush put Barack Obama back in his place. But what else has Bobby Rush done for the Chicago community? What else has Congressman Bobby Rush done? And I love Bobby Rush, but I got to ask my Chicago Africans. I love Bobby Rush, but I got to ask my Chicago Africans, has Bobby Rush? He's not running no more. We understand that. He's not running no more. But we also need to know, what did he do while he was there for 29 years? So for my Chicago people, the Illinois 1st Congressional District, for my Chicago people, the Illinois 1st Congressional District represents the South Side of Chicago. The South Side of Chicago, 1st Congressional District of Illinois is up for grabs. Do we have some Chicago Africans who want the support of the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement to help you take the spot of Congressman Bobby Rush, who will not be running anymore? Next on the list, Bobby Scott, Robert Cortez Scott. He represents Virginia. Where my Virginia Africans at? Where my Hampton Roads Africans at? Where my Hampton Roads Africans at? Robert Cortez Scott represents Virginia's 3rd Congressional District, which includes the Hampton Roads areas of Norfolk, Suffolk, Newport News, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Hampton. The only place it does not include is Virginia Beach. So my question to my 7 cities Virginia Africans, my question to my 7 cities Virginia Africans is Congressman Bobby Scott taking care of business for black people in the 7 cities? Is Congressman Bobby Scott taking care of business in the Hampton Roads for black people? He is 74 years old. He is 74 years old, brothers and sisters. He is 74 years old, and he's been in Congress since January the 3rd, 1993. Now, let's go again. Let's go again. Bernice Thompson. No, that's Benny. Is that Bernice? No, Benny Thompson. Benny Thompson. Where my Mississippi Africans at? Where my Mississippi Africans at? Where my Mississippi, I didn't want to do that. Where my Mississippi Africans at? I'm talking to my Mississippi Africans. Mississippi, Congressman Benny Thompson is 74 years old. He's been representing Black Mississippi since April 13th, 1993. The 2nd Congressional District of Mississippi includes Jackson, Mississippi, Vicksburg, Mississippi, Greenwood, Mississippi, Greenville, Mississippi, Clarksdale, Mississippi, and I think that's Clinton, Mississippi. To my Mississippi Africans, my Jackson, Mississippi Africans, has Congressman Benny Thompson been taking care of business for the Black family in Mississippi? Sheila Jackson Lee. And I love Sheila Jackson Lee. I love Sheila Jackson Lee, brothers and sisters. I love Sheila Jackson Lee. Sheila Jackson Lee is 72 years old. She's been in Congress since January the 3rd of 1995. She represents the Texas 18th Congressional District of Texas, which is most of Houston. Where my Houston Africans at? Where are my Houston Africans at? She represents most of Houston, Texas, including the downtown Houston district. Okay? She represents the downtown Houston district. And my question to my Houston family, and we love Queen Mother Sheila Jackson Lee. We love all our elders of the Congressional Black Caucus. But my question to Houston, at 72 years old, having been in Congress since 1995, should we ask Queen Mother Sheila Jackson Lee to become a mentor and an advisor to a new, younger, more aggressive, more idealistic, more militant Black congressperson? Or do we want her to stay there? Maybe she's doing a great job at 72 years old, having been there since 95 to 05 to 50, 25 would be 30 years. So she's been there 27 years. Is it time to move on? Is it time to move on, or is everything the way we want it to be? Let's go to Danny Davis. Danny Davis is 80 years old. He represents the 7th Congressional District of Illinois. This is Chicago. This is Chicago. He represents Bellwood, Forest Park, Chicago, Oak Park, Chicago, Maywood, Chicago, and Westchester. So Bobby Rush has one congressional seat that covers Chicago. Danny Davis has the other congressional seat that covers Chicago. And my question to my Chicago Africans, Danny Davis has been in Congress since January the 3rd, 1997. 25 years. 80 years old, 25 years, representing Chicago. I need your opinions, though. Y'all not telling me nothing. And the reason y'all not telling me nothing is some of you have not been doing your research on what your Congressional Black Caucus has and has not been doing for your community. It's time to get politically educated. It's time to get politically educated, brothers and sisters. Next, I want to talk to my New York City Africans. I want to talk to my New York City Africans. Congressman Gregory Meeks. Congressman Gregory Meeks. Congressman Gregory Meeks is 68 years old. He's been in Congress since 1998, and he represents New York's 5th Congressional District, which includes the entire borough of Queens. Where my Queensbridge Africans at? Where my Queens Africans at? Where my Queensboro Africans at? Gregory Meeks represents the entire borough of Queens, New York, and a small piece of Nassau County. So my question to my Africans in Queens, New York City, my question to my Africans in Queens, New York City, Gregory Meeks of the 5th New York Congressional District that represents the entire borough of Queens, has he been taking care of business? Has he? We need to know this because the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement is going to replace those who are not fighting for the people. He's 68 years old and he's been there 08, 18, 19, 21. He's been there 24 years. He's been your U.S. rep for the entire borough of Queens for 24 years. Is he doing a good job or not? Is he doing a good? I don't need to call him and find out. I don't live there. You need to call him and find out. In fact, send you to the block party. You belong in a block party anyway. Next, Barbara Lee. I love Barbara Lee. 75 years old. The sister looked like she 40. Fine as heaven. I remember that sister stood up and opposed the war against Afghanistan. She was one of the only, if not the only member of the Congressional Black Caucus who did not vote for the war on Afghanistan. I love Queen Mother Barbara Lee. She represents the 13th Congressional District of California, which includes Alameda County, Albany, California, Berkeley, California, Oakland, California, San Leandro, California, Piedmont. But my question to my California Africans, Barbara Lee has been in office for 24 years. She is now 75. She has been in office for 24 years. She is now 75. Do we keep her? Is she doing the work? Africans in California, I want to hear from you. Africans in California, I want to hear from you. Is she doing the work? Or do we need to respectfully ask Queen Mother to become a mentor to the next young, ambitious, courageous council person to represent that section of California? David Scott. Now I'm talking to my Georgia Africans again. Now I'm talking to my Georgia Africans again. David Scott has been representing the 13th Congressional District of Georgia, that is Atlanta metro area. The Atlanta, where my Atlanta Africans at? Where my Atlanta Africans at? Where is my Atlanta Africans at? David Scott represents the Atlanta metro area. He also has Austell, Jonesboro, Mableton, Georgia, Douglasville, Georgia, Stockbridge, Georgia, Union City, Georgia. He's 76 years old and he's been there for 20 years. Black Atlanta. Has he been doing good? If so, we can leave the elder in there. Black Atlanta. Has he been doing good? If so, we can leave the elder in there. If not, who has the courage to run against him for the November 8th election? Who? I hope as I read these, you're thinking about yourself. I hope as I read these districts, you're thinking about running yourself. You only have to be 25 years old and a citizen for 7 years. You only have to be 25 years old and a citizen for 7 years. David Scott. Next, we have George Butterfield of North Carolina's 1st Congressional District. Where's my North Carolina Africans at? Where's my North Carolina Africans at? Where's my North Carolina? George Butterfield is 74 years old. He's been in Congress for 19 years. He represents the Research Triangle of North Carolina. He represents the sections of North Carolina that border Virginia. He represents Greenville, North Carolina, Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, Goldsboro, North Carolina, Henderson, North Carolina, Roanoke Rapids. 19 years he's been representing you on the Congressional Black Caucus. Has he been doing a good job? We down to number 16. Emmanuel Cleaver, Missouri. Where my Kansas City Africans at? Where are my Kansas City Africans? I'm talking to my Kansas City Africans right now. I'm talking to my Kansas City Africans. I need to ask you, Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver represents the 5th Congressional District of Missouri, which includes most of the city of Kansas City. He's been in office since 2005. That's about 17 years. He's 77 years old. 17 years. He's 77 years old. He represents Kansas City as part of the 5th Congressional District of Missouri. Kansas City Africans, I need to know about Emmanuel Cleaver. Start doing your research. Start doing your research. Do we ask him to stay November the 8th of 2022, or do we replace him? And if we replace him, which one of you is going to run against him? Which one of you young people has the courage and the commitment and the consistency and the creativity and the consciousness to challenge these elder gatekeepers of the Congressional Black Caucus? I say it again. Which one of you has the courage, the consistency, the commitment, the consciousness, and the creativity to challenge some of our elder gatekeepers of the Congressional Black Caucus at the Tuesday, November the 8th, 2022 elections? Next, we have Al Greer. We going to Houston, Texas. Where my Houston Africans at? Al Greer represents the 9th Congressional District of Texas, which is the greater Houston, Texas area. This is the 4th largest black city in America, and it is represented by 74-year-old Al Greer. So to my Houston Africans, is 74-year-old Al Greer doing the work that Black Houston needs to be done inside of the U.S. Congress? Next up, where my Milwaukee, Wisconsin Africans at? Where my Milwaukee, Wisconsin Africans at? Where are my Milwaukee, Wisconsin Africans at? Gwen Moore represents the Wisconsin 4th Congressional District. Sister Gwen Moore represents the Milwaukee, Wisconsin 4th Congressional District. Her area covers Milwaukee, Bayside, Brown Deer, Cudahy, if I'm saying that right, Fox Point, Glendale, Wisconsin, St. Francis, Wisconsin, Shorewood, Wisconsin, South Milwaukee, West Milwaukee, and Whitefish Bay. She's been there since '05. So she's been there 17 years. She's 70 years old. If she's doing a good job, we don't want to mess with them. If she's doing a good job, we don't want to mess with them. If she's doing a good job, we don't want to mess with them. But if the sister, the Queen Mother, and we respect them all, these are our elders. But if we think it's time for some fresh energy, then we have to be respectful. We don't have to be disrespectful. We can respectfully say we have someone who's going to challenge you because we need some more courageous energy in Washington, D.C. to represent the 50 million Africans of this country. We got 3 more, and then I want to give you my analysis. Number 18, Yvette Clarke. Yvette Clarke, who is one of the youngest. Yvette Clarke of Brooklyn. She represents the New York 9th Congressional District, which is her entire district is Brooklyn, New York. I'm talking to my Brooklyn Africans. I'm talking to my Brooklyn Africans. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where is Brooklyn right now? For my Africans in Brooklyn, I'm asking you, does 57-year-old, she's young, I ain't got no problem with her age, 57. She's only been there since 2007. She's only been there since 2007. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. 15 years. She's been there 15 years. Her district is exclusively Brooklyn. So to my Brooklyn Africans is the Honorable Congresswoman Yvette Clarke taking care of business. To my Brooklyn Africans is the Honorable Congresswoman Yvette Clarke taking care of business for our Brooklyn Africans. Yes or no is the question. Yes or no is the question. And if she got to go, who has the courage, the commitment, the consistency, the consciousness to run against her? Next up, Henry Hank Johnson. We back in Georgia. 4th Congressional District of Georgia is led by Henry Hank Johnson. He covers Conyers, Georgia, Covington, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, Lilburn, Georgia, Lithonia, Georgia, Snellville, Georgia. He's been there for 15 years. He's 67 years old. Henry Hank Johnson, is he taking care of business in Georgia? If you don't know, don't say. If you don't know, don't say. If you don't know, don't say. Last, and this is only the first 20. I'm going to do them all, but today these are the top 20 senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus. These are your top 20 senior members minus your 2 senators. This does not include Cory Booker. This does not include the other brother, and it doesn't include the House Negro, Republican Senator Tim Scott. Last but not least, Andre Carson. He represents Indianapolis, Indiana. Where my Indianapolis Africans at? Where are my Indianapolis Africans at? Andre Carson is a Muslim brother, okay, 47 years old. He's the grandson of the previous rep, I believe, who passed away from lung cancer. Rest in peace to the Queen Mother. He's been in office since March 11th, 2008. So he's been there 14 years. And he represents the 7th Congressional District of Indiana, which is most of Indianapolis in Marion County. He represents most of Indianapolis in Marion County. So to my Indianapolis Africans, is he taking care of business? Now, we just went through the top 20 senior members of the U.S. House of Representatives and the Congressional Black Caucus. We just went through the top 20 senior members of Black U.S. House of Representatives and the Congressional Black Caucus. My question to you, if you live in those districts, are you being represented? Are your needs and interests being represented by those members of the Congressional Black Caucus? We don't want to remove them if they're doing a good job. But I do have a couple of questions that I would like to ask the 20 most senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus. I do have a couple of questions I would like to ask the 20 most senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Question number one. When Barack Obama pushed through that $700+ billion Economic Recovery Act in 2009, I have a question to the Congressional Black Caucus. When President Obama pushed that $700+ billion Economic Recovery Act to bail out Wall Street in 2009, did you all ask for a portion of that money to go directly to the black community? I need to know the answer to this. I need to know the answer to this. Congressional Black Caucus, I'm asking you, when Obama bailed out the billionaires on Wall Street, when Obama bailed out the billionaires on Wall Street, did you ask for some of that money to come to your constituents and all of Black America? Because although you represent a particular jurisdiction, you speak for all Black people. Although you represent a particular jurisdiction, you speak for all Black people. Did y'all ask Obama to give some of that money to the Black community? That's my first question. My second question. When I look at your ages, and I'm very respectful, African culture, we respect our elders, but we also understand that the old man is for counsel, the young man is for war. The old man is for counsel, the young man is for war. The old woman is for counsel, the young woman is for war. The old woman is for counsel, the young woman is for war. So my question to the members of the Congressional Black Caucus, can you honestly tell Black America? Can you honestly look at us in our faces and tell the 50 million Africans in America that at 84 years old, 83 years old, 75 years old, 81 years old, 86 years old, 75 years old, 74 years old, 74 years old, 72 years old, 80 years old, 68 years old, 75 years old, 76 years old, 74 years old, 77 years old, 74 years old, 70 years old, 57 years old, 67 years old, 47 years old, with the exception of Congresswoman Yvette Clarke of Brooklyn and Congressman Andre Carson of Indianapolis, with the exception of Congresswoman Yvette Clarke of Brooklyn and Congressman Andre Carson of Indiana, the youngest person is 67, and the next youngest person is 74. 74 years old. My question to my elders of the Congressional Black Caucus, and I'm being respectful, can you honestly say that at that age, you still have the fight and the courage and the energy and the tenacity to effectively represent and advocate for Black people in America? I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. And my next question to the Congressional Black Caucus, how many Black millionaires have you made in your 30 years, 25 years, 20 years, 15 years of being on the Congressional Black Caucus? I'm going to ask you again. How many black businesses have you personally created with federal resources for the black people that you represent? I'm asking you a serious question. I am not disrespecting my elders. I'm looking for clarity. Y'all, Maxine Waters, you've been there 31 years. Eleanor Holmes Norton, 31 years. Sanford Bishop, 28 years. James Clyburn, 28 years. Eddie Johnson, 28 years. Bobby Rush, 28 years. Robert Cortez Scott, 28 years. Bernice Thompson, 28 years. Sheila Jackson Lee, 26 years. How many black businesses have you created in your district for our people? I'm not asking you about culturals. I'm not asking you about the Rainbow Gang. I'm not asking you about women. I'm not asking you about black people. How many black businesses in 30 years you have created in your district? I'm asking for clarity, brothers and sisters. I'm asking for clarity. This is why we're building the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement. This is why we're building the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement. If you want to run or if you want to help out, if you want to run for a U.S. congressional seat, if you want to challenge respectfully one of the elders, if you think you got what it takes to represent black folks at the most powerful government on the face of the earth, if you think you have what it takes, email btnibpm@yahoo.com. btnibpm@yahoo.com, brothers and sisters, if you believe you got what it takes. My next question. Let's put age to the side. Let's put 74 years old and up. Let's put that to the side for a minute. Let's put that to the side for a minute. Most of you have been here 20 to 30 years. I'm asking a question. Most Congressional Black Caucus members have been there 20 to 30 years. Do you not think somebody else deserves a chance right now? Do you not think someone younger than you deserves a chance? I'm not saying you did a bad job, but if you've been there for 20 years, if you've been there for 25 years, you've been there for 28 years, you've been there for 30 years, do you not think it's time to give a younger African a chance to represent our people in your congressional district? I have another question. I have another question. I have another question. I'm noticing that most of you came in together. Many of you came in together in the 1990s. Most of you came into Congress in the 1990s. Let's look at it. 1991, Maxine Waters. 93, Sanford Bishop. 93, James Clyburn. 93, Eddie Johnson. 93, Bobby Rush. 93, Robert Scott. 93, Benny Thompson. 95, Sheila Jackson Lee. 97, Danny Davis. 98, Gregory Meeks. 98, Barbara Lee. Can I ask you a question? How did all y'all come in together at the end of the George Bush Sr. presidency and the beginning of the Bill Clinton presidency? Y'all came in right in the end of Bush and the beginning of Clinton. So you came in at the end of the CIA drugs of the 1980s, in the beginning of the Joe Biden, Bill Clinton crime bill, in the beginning of the Joe Biden, Bill Clinton crime bill. So my next question to my Congressional Black Caucus? Did you oppose or did you vote for the 1994 Bill Clinton crime bill? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you tell me you voted for the 1994 Bill Clinton crime bill, Representative Waters, I need to know if you voted. Eleanor Holmes Norton, you didn't get a vote, but I need to know if you supported it. Sanford Bishop, you was there. James Clyburn, you was in office. Eddie Johnson, you was in office. Bobby Rush, you was in office. Robert Scott, you was in office. Benny Thompson, you was in office. Did you all vote for the Bill Clinton crime bill or did you shoot it down? Because if y'all voted for 3 strikes and you're out, if y'all voted for mandatory minimum sentences, if y'all voted for 3 strikes and you're out, and y'all voted for mandatory minimum sentencing, no disrespect, you might have to go. Because that means you co-signed the most criminal mass incarceration law against black people in the history of the United States of America. I can forgive you, but I will also have to remove you from office. I can forgive you because you are my elders, but you got to go. If you supported the Bill Clinton crime bill of 1994, you have to go. Can I ask you another question? What have any of you done in DC or at home to stop black children being victimized by special education? Because special education is a federal law. So what have you done to improve special ed for black children? What have you done to bring more black teachers into the schools? What have you done to bring more black men into the school? What have you done about police reform in your state or for the nation? What have you done about gentrification in your state or for the nation? What have you done about economic justice in your state or for the nation? And I have another question. I have another question for my Congressional Black Caucus. School psychologist, sister, I need you to call me. Miss Mimi Joy, you're a school psychologist? You need to get at me, Miss Mimi Joy. I need you for National Independent Black Parent Association. I need you for the NIBPA, the National Independent Black Parent Association. Shoot me a text message, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. Here's my other question for the Congressional Black Caucus. Did you approve of that response to President Biden's State of the Union address that the representative from Texas read on television after Biden's State of the Union address? Because that response, which purports to be from the Congressional Black Caucus, was a very docile, it was a very weak, it was a very House Negro type of a speech. He did not mention black people the whole speech. He didn't say one thing about black people's problems. But in that speech that I heard, you all said that you support him and that the speech was a good start. I need you to explain to me, Congressional Black Caucus, how was Joe Biden's State of the Union speech a good start? Maybe I missed something. How was Joe Biden's State of the Union address a good start when he mentioned everybody else except black people? He mentioned everybody else. And y'all said that y'all were proud of the president. Okay, my Instagram timed out. Dr. Umar talks 20 senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus. The talented 10th I'm gonna put questions for the 20 senior members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Share that. So to my Facebook people, make sure you watch the Congressional Black Caucus official response to Joe Biden's State of the Union address. There was no mention by President Biden of the need for the Senate to pass the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill, and there was no mention by President Biden of the need for the U.S. Senate to pass the George Floyd Police Accountability Act. So I'm trying to find out how the Congressional Black Caucus can pat the president on the back when the president completely ignored black people during his State of the Union address. And then I want you to watch President Joe Biden's Black History Month program that was held the day before his State of the Union address. Make sure you go to YouTube and watch President Joe Biden's Black History Month celebration at the White House. Because when you watch President Joe Biden's Black History Month celebration at the White House, which took place on February the 28th, the day before the March 1st State of the Union address, you're going to notice something. And you know what you're going to notice? You're going to notice that he basically used the Black History celebration. President Joe Biden basically used the Black History Month celebration to appease the Congressional Black Caucus. So the next day, he didn't have to mention us at all because he already gave you Negroes some attention at the Black History program. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all hear what I just said? President Joe Biden intentionally held the White House Black History Month program the night before the State of the Union address. And he used the Black History Month program as the opportunity to appease the Congressional Black Caucus. So the next day during his State of the Union address, he didn't have to mention black people at all. Everything he needed to say, he said it at the Black History Month program. He talked about Ketanji Brown Jackson, Snow Bunny. He talked about his black appointees. He talked about the John Lewis Voting Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. He said nothing about the George Floyd Police Accountability Act at the Black History program. And he said nothing about the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill at the Black History program. I'm trying to find out While Kamala Harris was so happy and so excited at the White House Black History Month program, Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, can you please explain to me why you were so happy at the Black History Month program when black people are catching hell all across this country? But he said we need to fund the police. He said give the police more money so they can hire more white people in the black community to kill us. Give the police more money so they can hire more white people in the black community to come and kill us. And y'all of the Congressional Black Caucus are not saying anything about it. 5 things you need to do. You don't want to defund the police? No problem. But you know what you better do? Mandatory. The percentage of the police must represent the percentage of black people in that area. The percentage of police must represent the percentage of black people. That's how many black police you should have. If Philadelphia is 50% black, 50% of the police should not only be black, but should come from Philadelphia. Let people police their own neighborhood. Stop bringing outsiders in. Number 2, get rid of qualified immunity. Number 3, stop letting taxpayers pay for the police trial at court. They have to pay it themselves. Let the Fraternal Order of the Police pay that. In addition to that, you cannot be a police officer if you have ever been a member of a white hate group. You cannot be a police officer if you have ever been a member of a white hate group, and no trained mercenaries or special forces teams can be police in the black community. No mercenaries or special forces can be police in the black community. Absolutely not. Every black community must have a police oversight and review board. Every shooting, every police stop gets reviewed by black folks, and they have the power to dismiss a police officer who is not carrying out his business in a respectable manner in the black community. Obi Kenobi, Erie, PA, set it up. Obi Kenobi, Erie, PA, set it up. Obi Kenobi, Erie, PA, set it up. Brothers and sisters, I hate to say this, but I believe that the Congressional Black Caucus is composed of elders on purpose, because the white power structure knows they don't have to worry about black elders fighting back against the white power structure. So they want all of black congressmen and congresswomen to be elders. This is crazy. 74 years old is the youngest age. 74? 74, 80, 86, 83, 75. I'm not against my elders. I'm not against my elders, but brothers and sisters, when I see the ages of my elders, and when I see how long they've been in office, when I see the ages of my elders and I see how long they've been in office, I'm not comfortable with that. Y'all too comfortable, too complicit, too happy. Y'all just going in circles. Y'all just going in circles. If you only have to be 25 years old, if you only have to be 25 years old, if you only have to be 25 years old, then why is 74 the average age? If you only have to be 25, why is 74 the youngest age? Brothers and sisters, btnibpm@yahoo.com. btnibpm@yahoo.com. If you want to run for one of these U.S. House of Representative congressional seats, but I only ask that you have the courage, the commitment, the consistency, the creativity, the consciousness. We got to make some changes. Politics is only one strategy. That is not our whole solution. We know that we got to organize the black dollar in order to build real black power. We got to organize the black dollar in order to build real black power. We have to build our own institutions, our own schools, our own supermarkets, our own banks, our own hospitals and jobs and distribution and manufacturing. We need to have our own community patrol. We need to do this, brothers and sisters. The Black Wall Street movement is coming. FDMG is coming. NIBPA is coming. Team Pan-African is coming. Ifa Tunde University. For those of you who signed up to take my course of Pan-Africanism, for those of you who signed up to take my course in Pan-Africanism, for those of you who signed up to take my second course of Pan-Africanism, you will be hearing from me soon. You will be hearing from me soon. You will be hearing from me soon. Pluto return. Pluto is still at 27 degrees of Capricorn and will be until the day Harriet Tubman joined the ancestors, March the 10th. Say your prayers, do your libations, your meditations, your chants. Set your intentions for this revolutionary 2 years and 8 months that we got, brothers and sisters. That's why I'm doing this. The Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement was born out of the Pluto return. I'm trying to do as much as I can to fix the problems we allowed to happen after our ancestors who fought against those problems went to the ancestors. I want to say congratulations and happy anniversary to my Ghanaian African brothers and sisters. Today, Ghana became the first post-colonial nation in Africa to gain independence, March the 6th of 1957. Today is also the anniversary of the release of my first book, Psychoacademic Holocaust. Today is also the birthday of Princess Saez, one of the first students to go on my inaugural Black College in Consciousness tour. Happy birthday, Saez. Happy birthday, Psychoacademic Holocaust. And happy Independence Day to my revolutionary Pan-African family in Ghana. btnibpm@yahoo.com. If you need to text me, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal for FDMG. I love y'all. Let's do this. Peace and Pan-Africanism.